Well, the more visible events were some that I just cited, the Rio Piedras massacre.
Yes, I understand.
And the Ponce massacre, and people just being gunned down in the street just without much apology or explanation. Some other very visible moments were when the nationalists had their, which is one of the major events in the subject matter of my book, the Revolution of 1950, which spread through 8 towns and included an attempt in La Fortaleza, on the governor's mansion. The fact that the way that the United States reacted immediately, they deployed 5,000 National Guardsmen, they arrested 3,000 Puerto Ricans within the space of a week, and they bombed 2 towns. They bombed 2 towns in broad daylight. They scrambled 10 P-47 fighter planes and bombed the towns of Jayuya and Utuado. It's the only time in American history that the United States intentionally, willingly, knowingly bombards its own citizens. So those are the high points that people are aware of, that it can get to that point, that if you take it to if you escalate it, the United States response will be immediate, effective, and coordinated. And the Puerto Rico, especially at the time, was separated from the mainland by a couple of thousand miles of ocean, from New York and Washington to Puerto Rico. It was separated by an ocean, a language, a culture, 400 years of Ibero-American history, and technology. The technology was important because there was certainly no internet, no television. We're talking about the 50s, 40s, 30s. Some radio, but the only thing that got off the island was controlled by, say, half a dozen wire service reporters, AP and UPI reporters, that were basically American reporters reporting, and they would just feed their stories to the major mainstream newspapers, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and they would sort of regurgitate a prepackaged story. So, and as an example, in the Ponce massacre, it was reported up here as a nationalist riot.
Yes.
And they did, and then that was in the head, Puerto Ricans riot. Then in the text, they would say that there was a gunfight. Well, the word gunfight is definitional. A fight involves 2 sides, but there can't be a gunfight if you don't have any guns. There were unarmed Puerto Ricans in the Ponce massacre. So it was the knowledge that this violence could be sudden, swift, and severe, and that no matter what you did, it was going to be misreported, and you were living in a complete vacuum down there. So that was one. So